Welcome to Sky High Coaching Conversations. I'm Janelle Ryan, global personal coach and author of Become Extraordinary, joining you from the coastline of Australia. This podcast is raw and unedited, just like life. I work with high-performing professionals, entrepreneurs, and elite athletes who are ready to expand their minds into new ways of thinking, create what once felt impossible, and lead themselves and others with confidence. If you're a self-led human who loves growth, truth, intuition, and a lot of laughs, you're in the right place. I'm so happy you're here. Let's dive in. Welcome back, or welcome to Sky High Coaching Conversations. I'm Janelle Ryan. Thanks for joining me today. Let's dive in. Listen along and notice what comes up for you. If you love reality TV, or even if you don't, you will have noticed our screens are flooded with it. Nearly every single night, or it feels like every night, we can tune in and watch people searching for love, creating elaborate dishes, restoring homes, building businesses, buying wedding dresses, singing, dancing, and showcasing extraordinary talent. The list is endless. Whilst I have very little interest in those chasing their 5 minutes of fame, I deeply admire those pursuing a dream that demands real skill, passion, and courage. Think of MasterChef, think The Voice. What strikes me most about these women and men isn't their talent. It's their willingness to be visible. Think about it. They stand in front of judges, audiences, and an entire viewing public and say, "Here I am. This is what I've got. Judge me if you will. Oh, and we will judge you." Believe me, that takes such extraordinary courage, doesn't it? So let me ask you this. When was the last time you had the courage to be truly visible? To walk into a room and let yourself be fully seen before you've said a single word? To go on a date and show up as yourself rather than the version of you think they want to meet? To put your radical idea forward in a meeting without softening it first? To apply for that role that feels just a little slightly out of reach? To open the doors to your business boldly and let people know you exist, and continue letting people know you exist? To step into a leadership opportunity and own it rather than, waiting until you feel ready? To say no with elegance and grace to something that doesn't serve you? To share your opinion, your truth, your perspective, even when your voice shakes? I've done some live radio, and I always feel like my voice is shaking so much at the beginning. But when I ask my husband and my friends that have listened in later, they say that you couldn't tell. So if you're like me and get the shaky voice when you're a little nervous, people can't usually tell. What about negotiating for your salary, your rate, your worth, and then hold the number? To show up in your personal life with the same authority you bring to your professional one. Here's what I've learned after 12 years of working with high-achieving women across leadership, business, and life. The women who struggle most with visibility aren't the ones who lack talent, intelligence, or capability. Let's face it, they're often the most capable people in the room, right? What they lack is an ability. It's permission, practice, and presence. Visibility isn't just a career skill, it's a life skill. And being visible means different things in different rooms. It means walking into the boardroom and feeling as powerful as your title suggests, rather than shrinking before you've spoken. It means showing up on a first date the full, interesting, magnetic version of yourself, rather than, the really careful, edited one. It means pitching your business with conviction, not apologizing for your pricing before anyone's even questioned it. It means sitting at the family table and saying the thing that needs to be said with love and without fear. It means networking at an industry event and actually connecting rather than performing your way through small talk and driving home wondering where you disappeared to. Visibility isn't about being loud. It's not about being the most confident person in the room or having it all figured out. It's about being seen authentically, powerfully, and unapologetically in every area of your life. And yes, my friend, that can feel deeply uncomfortable. Because what if you stumble? What if you're judged? What if someone doesn't like your message, your offering, your idea, your art, or even worse, gulp, you? But here's the paradox. Staying small, staying silent, staying invisible creates its own discomfort. Because you're not made to sit still. Human beings are not built that way. Shrinking is not your natural state. And somewhere deep inside you, my beautiful friend, you already know that. So, what if you could learn to become more comfortable with the discomfort of being seen? Let's dive into some ways you can begin to make that happen from the very moment this podcast ends. Firstly, understand that presence comes before performance. Most women think confidence is something you feel before you act. It isn't. Presence, the quality that makes a room notice you when you walk in, that makes people lean in when you speak, that makes you magnetic in a meeting, on a date, in a negotiation, isn't something you perform. It's something you inhabit. And it starts before you open your mouth. It's in the way you walk into the room, the way you hold yourself, the way you make eye contact, the way you take up space without apologizing for it. Before you work on what you say, work on how you arrive. So here's something you can start as soon as you hang up from this podcast. Hang up. I was about to say hang up from this call. Hang up from this podcast. Leave this podcast. Practice walking into rooms, coffee shops, meetings, social events with intention. Shoulders back, pace deliberate, gaze forward, not because you're performing confidence, but because your body is the first thing the room reads and you get to choose what it says. Secondly, know which rooms scare you and get curious about why. Visibility isn't one thing. It shows up differently for different women in different areas of life. You know this. For some of you, the boardroom's easy and the dinner party is terrifying. For others, they can pitch to a room of 100 people, not a problem, but fall apart on a first date. Some women lead teams with extraordinary authority and go completely silent when their family is in conflict. Notice which rooms you contract in, not to judge yourself. That's not what we do. We get curious. This is all about curiosity. It's about self-awareness. Because the pattern that makes you shrink in one room is almost always the same pattern operating everywhere. And when you understand it, you can begin to interrupt it in every room across every area of your life. Thirdly, stop editing yourself before anyone has even asked you to. This is a visibility habit that costs high-achieving women the most. You lower the salary number before it leaves your mouth. You soften the feedback until it no longer means anything. You qualify your opinion before you've finished expressing it. You show up on the date as a slightly safer, more palatable version of yourself. No one asked you to do any of that. The editing happens automatically, quickly, quietly, before you've even registered it. It's a protective pattern and it once served you, but now it's costing you influence, opportunity, connection, and authentic visibility every single day. So I invite you to start noticing the edit, not to force yourself to speak before you're ready, but to ask each time, is this edit necessary? Or am I making myself smaller than the room requires? Often you'll find the answer is the latter, but start to practice this, put this into play, see what comes up for you. The next one is a really important one. Let your values be your visibility anchor. When you know what you stand for, visibility becomes less frightening because you're no longer trying to manage how everyone perceives you, which is really exhausting and, you know what, impossible anyway. You're simply expressing what's true for you, and that's an entirely different experience. Do you know your top values right now? Not the ones you think you should have, the ones that are actually driving your decisions, your discomfort, and your desires. When you're living and leading and loving in alignment with those values, visibility stops feeling like exposure and it starts feeling like expression. And expression, your real, unedited, unapologetic expression, is what makes you genuinely magnetic in every room you walk into. If you do know your top 5 values, note them down, start to live in alignment with them. If you don't, find out, feel into them, bring them forward. Finally, build your presence deliberately, one room at a time. Owning a room is a skill. And like every skill, it develops through practice, not through waiting until you feel ready. So I invite you to start with the rooms that feel manageable. The coffee catch-up where you practice saying exactly what you think. The meeting where you speak first rather than waiting. The networking event where you introduce yourself without underselling. The date where you stay curious about them and equally unapologetically yourself. Then begin to take it further. The negotiation, the pitch, the difficult conversation, the family dinner maybe, where you finally say the thing. Each room you walk into with intention builds the evidence your nervous system needs that you are safe to be seen. That visibility doesn't destroy you. That presence, quiet, grounded, powerful presence, is available to you in every room, in every area of your life. Not one day, now. So, my beautiful friend, I celebrate the amateur chefs and the singers and the renovators who stand under the bright lights and say, "Here I am." I consider them incredibly brave and truly, truly, truly inspiring. And I celebrate you, the leader, the business owner, the mother, the woman navigating dating and family and career and everything in between, who summons her courage and chooses visibility every single day across every area of her life. That takes something, and you, my friend, you have it. Now, if this conversation is hitting or evoking or awakening, there's a better word, something in you, if you know you want to walk into rooms with more confidence, more composure and more self-possession, then I want to invite you into a brand new immersion that I'm calling Own the Room. We're going to work on presence, confidence, and how you carry yourself in the spaces that shape your life. It's free, it's short, 90 minutes, it's online, so you can be in your PJs, and I would love to see you there. We're going to pop a link in the show notes so you can click through, read more, and if it calls out to you, to register. Thanks so much for listening. Take notice of what came up for you today. If you do have a notepad and pen handy, write those insights down, and then think about what actions you're going to take. Maybe for the next day or week or even ongoing. Until next time, thankfully I'm right at the end. I'm running out of voice. I'll start again. Thanks so much for listening. Until next time, keep expanding, creating, and leading yourself and others. And I will catch you on the airwaves next week. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you for being here for another Sky High coaching conversation. If today expanded something in you, trust it and allow it to lead you to your next step. Take what landed, leave what didn't, and keep creating the life and vocation that feels unmistakably yours. Until next time, keep expanding, keep creating, and keep leading with clarity, courage, and a little magic.